Welcome to another Workshop Wednesdays with Carrie and Dan. I'm Dan, she's Carrie.
I'm
Uh,
Carrie.
so to, yeah, over there. So today, what we're going to talk about is, in this environment, the way, the new normal, every co, buzzword about what the situation that we're in. Um, Cash flow is king. It's a very hot topic for a business these days. So getting paid and how you get paid is a concern, and accepting some kind of electronic payment is a great way for a business to get paid faster. So we wanted to compare Square with QB payments. So we really just kind of talk about the commonalities of the two payment processors, the differences between the two payment processors, and some other whatever else comes up.
This,
So
this is often a very, very hot topic here in ABO. So we want to address it and give you everything we know. We're going to unload and give you all our knowledge on this topic.
so Carrie, let's first talk about what they're similar. Square's very very popular payment processor, but what do they do that's the same?
So they're, but one of the things I have to say that's a big difference is that we all have heard of the square. Everywhere we go, we see the square. That's a big difference. You don't often hear, we know about Go Payment because we support QuickBooks, but not everybody understands the differences of just those mobile applications. So one of, so in similarity, you can go and ring up someone with a mobile device with the device, whether it's Square, Go Payment, that's similar. They have a touchless option, which COVID right now is super important. I don't want to touch credit cards, and we have those little key devices. This allows you, Apple, to take your phone and swipe it over the device. So both of them offer that. That's really a major benefit. Both of them are no contract, no risk, so you can try them. And I mean, you don't have to pick one. You can try both to compare. That's kind of going to be our giveaway, a little bit of a clue there. The pricing for whether the credit card is swiped by, if it's a Amex, if it's a Visa, if it's a Discover, doesn't matter. When we talk rates, same thing. It's just going to be the difference between swipe, which you know what that is, or keyed. And between those two, that's the rate you're picking. It doesn't matter if you use American Express or not. So that makes it, or, those points, airline points, it doesn't matter. So that's really today's world. We love it that way. The automatic batching of the daily deposits, when you go back into old school, that's a pain in the neck to figure out. So that these mobile solutions have made that much easier for us. And we'll talk about one of the caveats about that when we go to what's different. Recurring payments, you can set up recurring payments in both applications. You have a form of e-invoicing, electronic invoicing, and what that is, you probably know, but just in case, you electronically email an invoice to a client. All they have to do is press the button that says pay now. Super simple, wonderful, easy way, touchless, very important to get paid. You can use both methods to treat your mobile device, which for QuickBooks payments we call Go Payment, and to treat your Square as a cash register. You just change the method of payment. Now that's the good news, and we'll now highlight the differences, and I'm going to throw my baton back over to Dan.
Right. So those are all the things that you can do in both Square and QuickBooks payments. And one of the things that I think it is the main differentiator between the two is that Square is built on collecting payments, where QuickBooks is obviously built around tracking your business. So that's the main difference between the two is the integration. So Square is built, is a payment processor that's built around collecting the payments, and the payments is the key thing, being able to collect those payments. So, their software, their apps, their point of sales is all built around you using Square as your payment processor, and then everything else is kind of secondary. Where QuickBooks is all built around tracking your business, and the payment processing is it's an add-on service, it's a secondary service. But when you do integrate the payments in QuickBooks Payments, you're getting your billing done along with your accounting. So yes, you can integrate Square into your QuickBooks, but that integration is really where QuickBooks Payments stands above Square. And you were about to interrupt me.
Yes, 'cause that's what I do. So one of the things that we see in Abo all the time is help. I have a new client, they're using Square, and I don't know what this is. The customer charged $20. It came across the bank feed as $19 and say 50 cents to be simple. It's a nightmare to reconcile. You have not lost your mind, and you need to now educate your client on the difference, because when that transaction comes across through an integrated solution, it is smooth, it's easy, there's less time. So obviously you don't have to spend as many hours in consulting. So it saves you time, the customer money, because if you have to jack up your fees to make sense of all those deducted fees that are coming out net, as often, not just Square, but other banks do, it is really a tough consulting job. So we hear your pain, and this is why we want to make sure you know about this option.
Yeah, because the integration, once you turn on payments directly within QuickBooks, the integration is really great, because once you collect a payment, the payment transaction is created for you. Once that is deposited, it makes that deposit for you in QuickBooks Online. Desktop, the integration is also very key, and very tracking the payments, applying them to invoices. But the one of the other differences is ACH. Bank transfers. You cannot accept ACH payments with Square. It's all credit card payments. Is the only way that you can utilize Square. So if you're looking for an ACH solution, the QuickBooks is a great option. But then you can do everything with the QuickBooks Payments. Now both. Oh,
there I go again. I'm sorry. In. There's one thing I wanted to highlight is, you can tell I'm so excited about this. As he said, secondary, Square, everyone knows Square. It's a mobile device. Financial software, went out. It's secondary. GoPayment, you don't really know about it, because that's not what you hear. You hear about QuickBooks Payments. What comes with QuickBooks Payments is it's integrated, comes with that mobile solution. You don't pay extra. You don't sign up for that. You sign up for QuickBooks Payments based on your product. It comes with it as a feature. So it feels like a secondary feature, but it is just as robust as the Square. That's why we're having this call. So Dan, I'm going to let you pick up. I just didn't want to lose that huge difference, all encompassing.
Yeah, good point. It's one account, and you have several features, as opposed to one payment option, and then that's all you can do. Now both of the payment processors, Square and QuickBooks Payments, are now offering instant transfer, same day, to be able to get paid the same day. Now you do pay extra fees to be able to do that. So the way it works is you hook up a debit card to your account, and you can do that in both. And then when you do get paid, you can request a dollar amount to be transferred into that debit card. So that's a great way to have instant cash flow. The fee for doing that with QuickBooks Payments is actually waived until the end of July, and for Square, that's 1.5%. So if you want same day deposits of your payments with Square, you're going to have to pay a little more to be able to do that. Now, after the the
COVID.
promotion option for the instant transfer, the QuickBooks payments, it's still less. It's only 1%, and you can do that with bank transfer funds um, or credit cards. So it doesn't matter how you got paid. You can request the funds instantly. Um, QuickBooks says it'll be in your on your card in as little as 30 minutes. So um, whatever we could find yesterday when we were trying to piece together the differences, they could only say same day. So I don't know what instantly means with same day, but it is in the same day. So it is still pretty fast, to get your money, that day, as soon as you've received a payment. So, if you need to do payroll and you receive a payment, you can instantly, put money into your bank account and have that covered if it's close, if it's close to that. So that's those are in the differences. Excuse me, I'm a little tongue tied there.
There's a huge one too that we need to make sure we highlight, Dan, and we went in and double checked the rates. So those of you who are the certified pro advisor, we get the special pricing, which is discounted from clicking in software. But the lowest price that you can get for QuickBooks payments with the QBO account, each account's a little bit different. The no monthly fee swipe is 2.2%. Now that number can be discounted if they're willing to pay a monthly fee, but to do apples to apples, we looked up Square is 2.6%. And I think there's even a bit of a transaction fee that's very minor, but that can save your customer money as well. But the misunderstanding is that you don't run out and look at GoPayment, go through your QuickBooks payments and get that extra discount based on your product. So you're going to be a hero with that. So again, if you can try them side by side, you can then see what Dan's talking about with that next day funding. Is it really 30 minutes? Is there any other things you need to take in consideration to build up your cash flow? So the rates will save you money. You don't have to pick one. Try them both.
Yeah, and with QuickBooks Online, there is the next day funding. So once you even if you don't choose the same day or the instant transfer, you can automatically get your funds in the next business day once you have some history, on your account. So that's a great way to kind of segue into why clients should be using QuickBooks payments. Really, the X, you can try and compare them by having them both. They're both a pay as you go option. There is an option for high volume with QuickBooks payments to be able to have a monthly fee, but the fees are indeed a little lower. But again, the integration is less work as bookkeepers and accounting professionals to get those synchronized and entered in. You may have to push that from Square or do the synchronization. When that synchronization does happen, oftentimes with Square, you don't know what you've actually sold. You just know that you've received a payment and it's revenue, and it increases your bottom line with the profit and loss, but you may not know exactly what you sold if you're really interested in that in your QuickBooks. With QuickBooks payments, of course, you will have that option because you're doing the payment directly in your QuickBooks. So of course you would know what was sold, and how it was paid for.
So one thing that I know, I'm speaking from experience because I've been selling and supporting QuickBooks forever, but I'm not a salesperson. I might act like one right now, but I promise I'm not. So I understand your frustration as someone that loves consulting. And it is not an easy conversation to have with a client. They might come at you and tell you they know everything there is to know about payments, and it's so much more money. My bank saves money, and you get all this pushback. So what we recommend is thinking of a couple things that will help you make it easier. So first of all, get an account as a pro advisor that's discounted. Get your own. So we like, there's many ways to call this. My favorite one today is drink your own champagne. See how easy it is to work. You could create videos, block out your data, and show your customer, this is why I want you to try it. See how easy it is on my side. and basically, and take the time, even if you have to just give it away, which I don't recommend. Your value, you have a value to you, but it's up to you. Say, this is going to save you so much time. I'll even, I offer to do this for you for 30 minutes, and you act like their liaison. Get on the phone with QuickBooks payments support and connect it and get it done right. Then show them how to do it. Even if well, today's world being in person is a little different, but demonstrate using your own account, e-invoice it to them. If you have to see them in person, be careful, wear a mask and wash your hands and all that stuff. But for example, what you want to do is show them how easy it is to email it or send it over so that they don't have to touch you. You could have that. Dan, can you explain that new hardware we can buy?
Yeah, where is it? Yeah, so there are two card readers. One is a simple Bluetooth card reader. It is right here on my desk. It's a slide, swipe, as well as an insert. So with the chip, but obviously someone's going to have to touch that card to swipe or slide it. There is a contactless one. Same thing. You can do the swipe, the slide, but you can also use the contactless one. So Android Pay, Apple Pay. You can utilize that as a way to process the card, and those are treated as swiped transactions, because obviously there's there's a less risk of seeing that card being stolen, and if somebody has your device, you've got bigger issues.
One other really cool, and I'll use the word loosely, sales trick, because I understand we don't want to be selling and pushing, but you're going to be saving time, money, and all that stuff, we know, right? But consider this as a next step, a next logical step. Okay, we're going to set up your books, and I'm going to help you set up your payments. Don't go running out and clicking the buttons, because as a pro advisor, I can get you discounted rates. So that by setting the stage for success, don't make any decisions without talking to me. You're not going to have your customer run down the street and sign up for random stuff and get the higher pricing. As a pro advisor, you can discount it and have discounted pricing. So be the trusted advisor there and let them know that you really do care, and you're going to be there with them every step of the way, so that they're not left figuring it out. Even if from here and there, you may have to give away a little bit of time, but you'll gain the respect, and it helps you build your business. I totally believe in this method. Do you have
Matt Fulton put a comment in on the FaceTube that sometimes we run into issues with workflows where we cannot use the Intuit merchant processing because we cannot automate the payment charge. So yeah, I mean, integrating into your website or other apps, like I know a couple of businesses in my business networking group, they use House Call Pro, and it can't integrate their QuickBooks payment with that because of the partnership that app has with other payment processors like Square. So those types of things do kind of put a roadblock, but I think the main thing and the great thing that we're talking about here is that you can have this as an additional option for payments. And then, as your business or as your clients realize, okay, this is actually a time saver, a money saver, and real easy to use it for what you can use it for. And then for the things that you can't, then obviously you need to find another option. There's nothing set in stone that you have to use QuickBooks payments for everything. Right. But if you can use it for 75% of your business, you still reap the rewards of the advantages of the QB payments.
And I think a lot of people think that they have to pick one, like they're picking their candidate for president. You don't have to pick one. You can vote for more than one. You can try them out, especially when there's no contract. It's a really nice way to try it. I love that they offer that, because years past, and banks still do it, they lock you in these contracts, promise you the moon, and you know how that works. So try it yourself and see how that works. Also, we'll drop this link into our chat. On my website, I have all of this stuff written down for you to absorb. You might be like, this is overwhelming. I want to see the numbers. I want to chew it over. I want to see Square versus QuickBooks. I want to see what online, desktop, enterprise, point of sale. I have all that for you, and we'll drop that into the chat so you can peruse it and crunch numbers and nerd out on it. The other thing I want to highlight, and one of the reasons that we're coming to ABO right now to introduce to you, Dan has done a fantastic, yes, course on payments. So many of you guys come to us on ABO and different places. You find us in the interwebs and you ask us, wait, how do I set this up? I don't know how to do this. I've never done it. Well, first get your own, but obviously we all have to start somewhere to learn. And to get more well-versed in the differences is crucial in making you and your company successful. So he has created a course, and it's, I predict, going to be one of our more popular ones, next to how to pass the Pro Advisor exam by a strategy method, not cheating. So check it out. Definitely check out School of Bookkeeping and get the 30-day trial and see what you think and give Dan some feedback. I think he's pretty fantastic, but he's willing to take some constructive feedback.
Yeah, no complainers or haters.
No, please stay away. But anyway.
So yeah, join us next week where we'll talk about payroll.
Everyone loves
Yay.
Payroll. Well, we all want to get paid, right?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, continue the conversation in the comments, and we'll see you next time.
Sounds great. Have a great week and a happy Wednesday.
Bye-bye.